On December 7, 1941, the United States entered World War II after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. 2 months later, President Roosevelt issued Executive Order 9066, resulting in the incarceration of 120,000 Japanese Americans.
Executive Order 9066 basically rounded up Japanese Americans, shipped them off to assembly centers, and then shipped them off to incarceration camps after.
The purpose of this camp was basically to serve as a relocation center. It's a euphemism basically to say that it was an area where a ethnic minority here in the United States would be concentrated away from the larger population.
Nobody knew where we're going to go. Or you can stay in the horse stable, you can stay in the barrack. So what do you prepare for? I mean, that's the biggest hurdle that we had. Where are we going?
Today we've had a national tragedy.
We saw a large plane, like a jet, go immediately headed directly into the World Trade Center. It
2 airplanes crashed into the World Trade Center.
Oh my God! Oh, there's another one. Oh my God!
The first thought that came to my mind was, oh no, this is going to be a situation like Pearl Harbor. What we felt during World War II and what we began to perceive was happening with 9/11, reaching out to the Muslim community was a very natural thing for us to do.
There was all sorts of abductions and disappearances of community leaders happening, and this is exactly the same type of stuff that had happened during World War II pre-internment.
I kind of, for the first time, felt the same fear, and I said, you know, this is probably the fear that my parents, my grandparents, and people in the community felt after Pearl Harbor.
Within 24 hours of the attack, the JCL issued a press release urging caution in the aftermath of the terrorist attack. Nikkei for Civil Rights and Redress organized a candlelight vigil in Little Tokyo where over 300 individuals participated, showing their solidarity with the American Muslim community. Over the next few years, the question emerged of what is the next step? How can something positive be created out of this new bond?
Bridging Communities had its roots in actually a lunchtime conversation that occurred at the CARE office.
When this California Civil Liberties Program was putting out the grants, Craig Ishii of JCL and I were at the meeting where they explained the grants, and we said, gosh, we don't really have a grant that fits what they were talking about, and we didn't really want to do a grant by ourselves. So we went outside, we were just talking, and said, why don't we do it together?
The discussion became, hey, is it possible for us to do something more proactive? Is it possible for us to take a real kind of positive approach to addressing bridging communities together? And that's essentially where the Bridging Communities program came from.
On one level, the Bridging Communities program is a program that brings together Japanese American and American Muslim youth to do interactive workshops with each other and really gain a better understanding about each other's communities and cultures. In 2010, JCL, along with NCRR and CARE, received a grant from the National Park Service to expand bridging communities from just LA to Seattle and San Francisco.
The idea was to connect the Japanese American community with communities in these other different areas. And what was actually beautiful was the fact that Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, also had chapters within those areas.
As the culmination of the program, participants in San Francisco went to Tule Lake, Seattle went to Minidoka, and Los Angeles went to Manzanar. This really allowed the participants to be a part of something that was larger than just themselves.
This history, this legacy, isn't something that just belongs to one community, that this is an American experience.